Guys and ghosts, what you gon' do? PSI crew is coming for you. UFOs and Martians, what you gon' do? PSI crew is coming for you. Bigfoot and Loch Ness, what you gon' do? PSI crew is coming for you. Skeptics, fakes, and frauds, what you gon' do? PSI crew is coming for you.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to SpookyCast, your one-stop shop for all paranormal talk on the Internet, because we're better than everyone else. Well, maybe not. I don't know. And we're joined here by all of our spooky friends that we know and have come to love, even though a lot of you people haven't been clicking the like button on these things, and I just kind of feel like I'm just slipping into a deep, deep, dark depression, and I just want to say, let's get around to the table and say hello to everybody. Hey, let's start off with you. Who are you?
Hello, my name is Steven.
Okay, and?
I do a lot of the xenozoology.
Cryptozoology.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Fuck you!
What did he say, Xeno?
Yeah.
Xenozoology.
I'm sorry, I was watching the fucking Alien vs. Predator.
Oh, okay. Steven, you're hired again. But don't let this slip again.
Wait, do they really don't like our podcast?
No, I just say that.
Oh.
Just kind of get them wound up.
Okay.
I mean, we get some decent views, but it's like more views.
Do we get like really
click,
bad
click, 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 click.
Do we get really bad views where people say like,
No.
you guys are shit, you need
No.
to shut up?
No. Surprisingly, no. Surprisingly, no. Very surprised. Who are you?
I'm Patrick. I do the Xeno research, or just the UFO research.
You're fired. No, you're hired. And you are?
I'm Victoria, and I can't even remember what I do because it's been so long. So refresh my memory, Sean.
Ghost stories.
You're the one that's there.
I'm here.
You're the female of the group. Well, other than Tina, but she don't like doing podcasts. Okay. Oh, you take pictures.
She was
What is it called?
EVP specialist.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yes.
That's what it was.
See, there's a reason why I hired all you guys. You're all pretty smart.
We have a new member over here.
Yes, we have a special guest tonight.
Our official bad boy.
What's your name, son?
Alex.
Say it a little louder.
Do it, damn it!
Alex.
What do you do?
I react. I like to be there.
Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. The newest member of PSI.
Crickets.
Oh, Lordy, what have we done? What haven't we done? What have we done and what haven't we done? That's a very good question. What haven't we done over the past couple months?
I haven't done anything.
Yeah, we haven't done anything.
Besides World of Warcraft for me, I actually did look up a couple more things on one of my new favorite things reading up to, which I'll be talking about later down the stream.
I do need to apologize because we should have had another podcast out last month, but due to technical difficulties and my stupidness, I was unable to salvage the last podcast because the audio was this complete and utter trash. But I got to fix this time. We sound so much clearer, so much crisper. The new and improved, tasteful PSI.
That sucks because I said if cats go synced, then we go synced. I said it there.
I think you said
And
it
all
like,
that one. And all
you said it like 3 times that
because I can't remember when I say it.
And it was a really good podcast too. Like, I mean, we were just going on and on, and I felt so bad because a few nights later when I started editing everything, it was just piercing through my headphones and giving me a headache. I'm like, God, why does this sound so fucking terrible? I'm like, oh, I didn't adjust the levels.
Too bad you couldn't fix them
Mr.
through that way.
Well, I could still put it up, but it's just going to sound terrible. And I
Yeah,
really
but
don't
I'm
want
saying
to
like
put it up.
fixing it where.
No, that's why I didn't put it up because I couldn't do it. I tried everything. I tried everything I knew, plus other tutorials. And then I started praying, which was even weirder. That didn't work. Yeah, that didn't work.
Oh my
either.
God.
Pray God?
Yeah, I prayed to the sun beast. Yeah, that didn't work either. But in things we have done recently, we have done a couple of things, I think. We are working on a new video series called Abandoned Exploration, where we can go around the state.
You just make that title up right now.
Actually, no, that's on the video.
I was going to say, because this is the first time I've ever heard of this thing that we're doing.
Same here.
Please,
I'm pretty sure I told you guys this.
No, you
like,
never did.
no?
Like, this is the reason why we went to that
I
church.
think this is something that you were thinking about while you were sitting on the toilet or something.
No.
And-
Well, basically, the plot, we already have a video up on our YouTube page. You go check it out. PSI on the tube, all one word. And it's abandoned exploration. And we went to a church in Bell Valley, Ohio, and just for fun. I mean, it wasn't not supposed to be haunted or anything. It's just something to where we can go to somewhere, look at the place, see how neat it is. Because I mean, especially in Ohio, there's a lot of abandoned structures and things to go look at, and someone can watch the video and be like, "Hey, okay, I can go check this out myself and explore," which is the whole idea of it. And the video's up, and yeah.
Oh, I was wondering if we could actually do a Bigfoot hunting one day.
Oh, they're actually doing one.
Yeah, Bigfoot hunt and salt
Was
fork.
was that today or was that next Saturday? They're doing one where their tour is only
It's only an hour long.
Yeah.
It's only an hour long.
Yeah, but I'm talking about an
Fake,
actual.
kind of like fake hunts.
They're actually the Bigfoot hunters are going to be there.
Yeah.
They're giving the
Yeah,
tour,
the actual ones.
but it's only an hour long.
Yeah,
so.
but they're going to actually be camping out and doing actual searches. That's what I'm talking about. But
Oh, well, it
Which is
didn't say that on
interesting.
the
There's-
thing.
no, I'm talking. That's what I want to do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bringing that up, it's interesting because I was going to point out there hasn't been any Bigfoot sightings in Salt Fork for about 4 years. After this big boom, there was a big boom, and then like it just stopped.
Well, that's because my brother moved down south.
But
My brother wears clown shoes.
so do I.
Yeah, but you do it for fun. He actually has to physically wear clown shoes.
That's a size 13 plates.
Me and
He
Patrick
wears
went.
size 16 or 17.
Me and Patrick went and looked
Yeah.
at a crop circle.
Oh,
At
that's
what,
right.
what was the name of that farm?
Neptune Farm.
Neptune's Farm on 83.
If you
Wait a minute.
If they care about us saying
Yeah, it's all right.
That's kind of weird that it was at a place called Neptune's Farm.
It's a beet
I
farm.
don't know.
it's a cow farm, it's
Yeah.
not like corn or
But,
anything.
Oh,
So-
maybe we
Was
can.
there horses?
Maybe we can. No, they were just cows. Maybe we can put the pictures on there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's one thing I wanted to
So,
ask
I
you
mean,
about.
it's not great pictures, but they're there. I mean,
Yeah.
you can see
Yeah,
something.
you can see with your eye how long these things go,
Yeah,
and
but
the different
It-
things that are in the middle of it.
we should get a drone. That
It
way,
wasn't a cornfield. It was a field of long grass, and it was a weird shape. It wasn't a regular crop shape. It was a weird shape that might have been meant to be viewed from the top of a hill or a plain.
Yeah, we'll be sure to put those on our Facebook page for everyone to look at. Because that stuff is pretty neat.
I still say it's probably, well, what I think it is, it's probably somebody just messing around.
Well, Sean brought up something before we turned it on. It could have been flooding because it's at a low point. And there's hills around. It could have been water
Yeah,
that
and-
pressed it down, which I didn't pick up.
Yeah, and the day before, we had really bad flooding
Yeah,
around here.
Mm-hmm.
I
That was
thought
terrible.
the only natural. I was thinking maybe a bear went through there and smashed everything down. Because
Had an itchy back.
yeah, for a large animal.
Are they gonna scratch its back on grass?
Well, dogs.
Sometimes I do.
Okay. Well, dogs, cats, and other animals will actually do that. They'll rub themselves against grass.
You ever
well,
see a dog do that before?
if it was, then it made
To
a
dry
very
off.
interesting. It did a very long distance, and it made there's circles. You can see circles.
Yeah, there was
It could be an
actual
Invader
circles. Yeah,
Zim
there
moment
were
where it's just a
actual-
cow just rolling all over the place.
Okay, but it was just a circle, and then the grass was fine, and then other circles,
Yeah.
and then regular grass, and then. But if you look when we were there, it's all the grass is neatly pressed on top of
Yeah,
each
there was
other.
one. There was those small circles, and there was a big area of a weird shape.
Yeah, like it was pressed, not broken, but just
Right.
like pressed over top of each other, like nice.
See, this is why we need an official PSI drone. That way we can see stuff like this better.
We'll have
But-
to put that on our Christmas list.
Because even at the church that we went to go check out, there was a hole in the top. What was that called? A staple? On the very
Steeple?
Yeah.
It's called a steeple.
help me out here. I'm trying
This
not
is
to
the
look like
church.
This is the church. This is the steeple. Wait, where's
open it up and
and
where's all the people?
inside is the people. Yeah.
Well, basically there was a hole.
There you
There was a
go.
hole in the window up there that we can't get into. But a
Church
drone could have
staple.
been able to go right up and take pictures like right
And
there.
what happens if you get your drone stuck?
You don't.
Then you self-destruct.
No drones do that.
We should get it.
I will make it.
Yeah, it's
Do
easy.
so.
Just got to do the right
Wow.
thing.
I would
Grenade.
put money into PSI, but we don't do enough.
Yeah, we
Uh,
well that hopefully with these abandoned exploration videos we can go out and see more places and more people can see them and get our name out there like a little bit more. I was going to put this on the Facebook page after I uploaded that video, but I forgot to. But another thing I do want to try is that besides just doing the podcast, every once in a while, I want to start doing not real paranormal stuff, but something fun. So that way people who don't really like the stuff can still watch and have a good time. We play a haunted, not a haunted, but a horror-themed board game on camera.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that
For
looks
like
really
a couple
good.
hours. And, just for fun and entertainment.
What about that one game? What was that, Alex?
No.
The hide and go
No.
where
No.
you possess the doll and then
Well,
you go and
I
hide.
kind of on board games.
That's a game.
No. No.
It is?
Because it could kill us.
It's okay.
You don't
Just
give
wait.
haunted dolls
It's
knives.
an urban legend.
All right, how do you play?
You take a teddy
No.
bear, you fill it full of rice, you throw it in a bathtub full of water, and you shut off all the lights, and then you tell it to come find you. And then and then you leave a knife out or something, and when it finds you, it kills you.
Who thought of that?
Oh, okay, we can do that here.
No, that's not how you do it. You
About-
described it all wrong.
About every 12-year-old on the internet probably thought about that. Like, oh, I'm gonna make this funny story. Or scary story.
Cody, come down to eat.
Shut up, Mom. I'm making creepypastas. You don't understand. I mean, there's like a lot of horror board games, like 13 Dead End Drive, I know. Like different kinds of Clue games. There's one I would really love to do because we always end up trying to kill each other playing Monopoly, which would be fun to have everybody watch. But they have a Ghostbusters edition Monopoly.
I was just thinking about Ghostbusters.
It's like, that'd be awesome. And there's actually an old board game of Ghostbusters I want to track down and find.
And
I
there's
played
also,
as a kid.
there's also a card game where he plays a werewolf.
Yes.
There's this fun game. It's called
No.
it has a thing with a hole in it. And it has a hole in it, and it has numbers and letters. And,
Oh, you mean the
and
Ouija board I
it's
keep
called
wanting to
it's
play?
called the Ujiwa. It's the
Oh.
It's the
Ujiwa.
Ouija.
I didn't think you guys wanted to do that
No,
one, so I was going to leave it out.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm just
I
joking.
want to do it. Yes,
You can do it at your house, and we'll watch you.
Yeah. We'll watch you get thrown into the air.
I don't care. I'll do it.
Watch the ghost break its back.
Try
I fucking hate you,
try to
man.
try to pick him up like it did on with Charlie. He swears to pick him up off the ghost and pick Charlie up off the couch.
Holy crap! Somebody could actually lift him.
So he says. He says the whole side of the couch.
But Steven was talking about a werewolf game. It's really fun. You play it with a deck of cards, and basically what it is, you have 4 people and then 1 person. I'm not going to get into detail.
I was going to say it's werewolf.
But basically, you're a random person, but somebody is a werewolf, or 2 people is a werewolf, and the point of the game is the person who's in control, they have to decide who's the werewolf and who's not, and people point fingers at each other trying to get other people in trouble for being the werewolf, and then at the end of the night, you have to hang somebody, and then the days are timed like a little sand counter, switching between night and day. Because at the end of the night, the werewolf is going to kill somebody. So it's your job to figure out who's who and hang whichever one until the very end, until you actually get the werewolf.
There's a game called Ghost in the Graveyard. That's almost like it's like an outdoors game though. It's like you play in like a cemetery. So you have a team of 2 people. It's kind of like hide and go seek and tag kind of
Yeah.
together. You have like the ghost team. So one team has to find so you have one team that hides, kind of like hide and go seek, and then you have the other team that has to go find you. But if they see you, then they yell out "Ghost in the Graveyard" or something like that, and then they get to capture you, so you become like their prisoner.
Right.
It's a fun game. We used to play it all the time when we were kids. It's really fun. You play it at nighttime, like in a cemetery, or you know what I mean, someplace dark and spooky. It's a pretty fun game. But we can't do that here. So
No, we can't.
it has to be a board game. It doesn't.
Well, at least a
require
board game or
any
some.
physical activity.
Well, yeah, I mean something that everyone wants to do. Be kind of hard with the camera to run
We can do a
outside.
seance.
Yeah, I guess we could. But then, what's the difference between a seance and using a Ouija board?
Because it's not a Ouija board, it's a seance. There's no Ouija board. I'm just trying to think of fun things to do.
And What's that number?
We did this before. We've done like 10 of them.
Probably.
The seances. You
Yeah.
remember back in the day
Yeah, back
when
in
we
the
sat
day.
on the floor with the candles, and we were like, oh, we did in Dorothy's basement. Remember
Yes.
that thing that made the noise behind
Yes.
us? We were all supposed to. It was your idea, and we were all supposed to think of something angry.
Yeah,
remember
negative.
that? And
Yeah.
it was a loud bang behind us.
Yeah.
That was creepy.
That was.
That was fun.
Other than that, there was another thing I was thinking about because you started talking about it tonight, and I was thinking of like we could do probably like a video segment of apps that do ghost stuff, like the ghost tracker apps, the haunted picture apps, and we can review them and really tell people, hey, is this really the deal or is it just fake just to get people's money? Like figure videos.
You
like
know
that.
what we could do? We could test out ghost hunting products for people.
Yeah, that too.
Basically, like we buy the product, or what
Mhm.
and then or we try. Like say, like we watch a video, and they're doing like that game.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, let's find out if this is real or not.
Right.
So we do it ourselves, and we do it live. It's not a cat; it's a fan.
No, not that. I saw something black
Here,
into your room.
maybe it's a rat.
Room, what are you talking about? We're in an abandoned radio station.
Yeah, we're in a radio station.
the illusion.
Okay. But
Steven's seen a ghost cat.
You gotta make sure there's not like a rat or like a raccoon or something in
There's
there.
probably tons of rats in this whole place.
I'll go look.
Okay, go get it, Patrick. All right. Well, Patrick's gone. We'll ease into the.
But yeah, what do you think? Like, so we can test out stuff.
Yeah.
We can do the live videos where and talk about what we've seen, and we're gonna try out this product or this or different ways to do ghost hunting techniques, and we can try it out ourselves.
I was even thinking about a special ASMR paranormal investigation for all the ASMR people out there.
I'm up for seances.
If you're not familiar with ASMR, it's this weird thing that people are kind of sensitive to, and it's when you talk into the microphone really soft, and you make the little popping noises with your mouth, and they hear it, and it makes them completely relax. So I was thinking, what if we do that with our paranormal investigation? It'd be like, like stuff like that. It's the weirdest thing. I call it a fetish. I really do. I really call it a fetish. But everybody's like, no, it's to help people because people have sensitive ears or something that makes them relax. I don't know. Just an idea I threw out there. I could try that. They make special microphones so that it looks like you're talking to a person's head and you're speaking into each side of their ear, and then they hear it and it tingles the inside of their ear and makes them relax. It's the weirdest shit. If anyone out there is listening, go watch an ASMR video, but make sure your adult content filter is on, because there's like anything, there's some weird shit out there. But this ASMR stuff, I don't know. Some people swear by it, like they have bad hypertension, things like that, and it calms them down. But so whatever. But to me, fucking weird. Fucking weird.
You are behind the scenes at a PSI business meeting. Historical events.
If we make more ghosts, then we get more jobs, damn it. Speaking of which, okay, I have to kind of pussyfoot around this next one. We did have an investigation a little bit while back, and it does piss me off a little bit that I wasn't able to get everybody into it because it was such short notice. But we had a private investigation at a private business around. I'm just not at liberty of saying of, who, what, when, where, or why. But basically, from the videos I have that I'm trying to release, from what I can find, it was a very good investigation. So what can I really say about it without blowing the stack? I was called up to help a friend out. She needed help because she didn't have enough people to investigate something. So we all went together, and a couple hours went by and got some pretty interesting pictures, which I'm pretty sure I can upload the single pictures because it's mostly in the dark. But there's some pretty good orbs and other light phenomena in the pictures. But then we had a K2 session which I do have on video, but I doubt I can release that part. But as time goes on, I'm saving it. Where we were speaking to spirits, I'll say children, and for the first time in my experience, I've never seen my K2 light up like that before. Like, it was like a Christmas tree, and it was beeping. They were like, "What's your name? How old are you?" Beep beep beep. Everything like that. And I made sure my K2 was next to the others' K2s, and they're all going off the same thing all at the same time, all at the same level. And I made sure when everybody wasn't looking, especially when I was sitting there, I was slowly lifting up items, checking them out, making sure nothing was interfering. Because as much as I love this stuff, there's still that part of me that wants to make sure not weird's going on. So like I even got under the table looking around, trying to see if maybe they had something down there that was interfering, but everything was clean. And it was a pretty exciting investigation. Man, that didn't turn out as good as I thought it would. That's as much pussyfooting around as I could do. Have any of you guys had any other paranormal experiences last couple months or anything besides UFOs? No? How about you, Alex?
Alex is freaked out because he thinks his door opens by itself.
Could happen.
It does.
I mean,
but it's just, I say it's just the air. The wind.
Okay, listen.
See?
I'm about to disprove you. You say it opens because of the wind, but there is no windows on the side of the house. They would have to be on this side.
Maybe it's the tilt of the house.
They would have to be on this side to blow the door open. There's only one window, and that's in my room. I'd blow the door even more closed.
It's a friendly ghost. Just wants to play with you.
It might be that fucking cat.
Or it might be something coming to suck.
That sounds dope.
Yeah.
If we have a ghost cat, it's Sting.
Yeah. The PSI. Wait, no! That came out completely wrong.
Okay.
Call him Spooky. Spooky the cat.
I had a cat named Spooky.
I knew cats named Spooky too.
Nothing exciting at all.
Spooky,
Nothing
the
paranormal.
psychic cat. Meow.
We just been working and
Alright, want to move on?
moving on.
Wait,
on to the-
I have a shameless self-promotion.
Okay.
Everyone should go follow my page
No.
at
No.
the dankest of memes.
No.
I know memes.
We don't do that.
I have the dankest.
He doesn't know that I know how to edit stuff.
Darn it.
Trust me, I turned Steven into a robot once, and he wasn't even here for the podcast.
We
and-
spent the whole podcast being Steven.
yeah.
Yeah. The best part is, I was asleep right over there.
Well, no, this is when you weren't even here.
No, I thought that was that night where I ended up falling
Well,
asleep.
there was, but
Well,
there
we
was
did
the
that
other
too.
times when you were.
Yeah.
You're like,
I
how
took,
about that, Steven?
I took
All right
Steven's
then,
voice and just
Steven.
started throwing it in the podcast everywhere. Make it look like he was here.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you like to transition to the news?
Now let's transition to the news.
Okay. This is the news. Okay.
Good morning, I'm Roger Grimsby. Today, the entire eastern seaboard is alive with talk of incidents of paranormal activity. Alleged ghost sightings and related supernatural occurrences have been reported across the entire tri-state area.
This is a bit of old news. This happened in 2014. An owl was thought to be an actual lechuza.
You were butchering the beautiful Spanish one. Wait, let me say it.
Lechuza.
The lechuza.
Yeah.
It's like a lich.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, in Mexico, owls are presumed are a symbol of witch, and La Lechuza is actually an owl witch, and she's also known as the Owl Woman, and she would attack people and abduct children. An innocent large owl was set on fire because the villagers thought it was being a witch.
That sucks.
Yeah,
That's a really downing news story.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you for that story, Debbie Downer.
Now for some more positive news after that whole Debbie Downer situation of killing an innocent owl.
Oh, the owl
Mike.
survived.
Well, Steven did what?
The owl survived.
Oh.
It was just tortured.
Well, still.
Well, that poor
Well-
Mike, they might as well just let it
Well,
die.
it's not Steven's fault. He's just recording.
Yeah.
Well, then we need a little bit more positive news on this podcast. And a story out of a remote mining town in Nicaragua. Wait, did I say that
What
right?
did you say?
Nicaragua.
What? Wait a minute.
Nicaragua.
Can you say it? How did you?
South America.
Okay, thank you.
A story out of a remote mining town in South America whose details are still being confirmed. The mother of 2 young children is dead, having suffering burns across 80% of her body. The Washington Post reports that the pieces are still being put back together. It seems though Vilma Trujillo Garcia, a 25-year-old woman, may have been suffering from a mental health crisis a couple of weeks and possibly threatened to kill people with a machete. A pastor had then arrived at her house and took a look at her and brought her to his church to conduct a healing. He allegedly kept her in the church for a week and told police, "God has made me a revelation that a group of brothers should take the sick woman and tie her up near the fire so the demon will leave the body of the sick and go into the fire." The resulting action was she was put a little bit too close to the fire and her body was completely burned. But they claim that they had gotten rid of the demon within the process, but they were very sad that she had lost her life in the process. And the investigation is still ongoing into seeing how and why this happened.
Well, this is the owl all over again.
I figured it was a little bit more positive because it was in South America, and they're always happy to be here, I think. I know the avocado situation is pretty bad.
I don't see how that was more positive and uplifting than Stephen's story about an owl that got tortured and then survived.
Was she black?
She was Nicaraguan. I cannot pronounce these names.
Well, at least you said it right that time. Instead of Nicaragua, whatever you were
I read what I can see. Okay?
Alright. Now there's also something that really blows my mind. In 2015, a mysterious monkey, well, species of monkeys known as the Shangri-La monkeys or the snub-nosed monkey. These guys have upside-down noses. So during the rain, they would cover up their nose holes to keep from sneezing because the water will get in and they'll sneeze. And these guys live all the way up in the mountains. And the thing is, the locals would actually hunt them. And there's a small number now. And in the Himalayas, now it's like illegal to hunt down certain species of animals around there.
Oh my god, they're so cute.
Yeah, they got big puffy lips. They have these like hairstyles that's kind of like in the center, drooping over to their face. They got tiny little black eyes and their nose is upside down. These guys are completely awesome and adorable. And the reason why I'm bringing up this is because of my love of reading about Shangri-La, anything that involves like something like this.
So basically, no one knew that these monkeys existed.
Well, people knew, but they never talked about it because it was in the Himalayas, and not too many people go in the Himalayas and explore.
They just couldn't find them.
Yeah. It's because of the fact that they were dwindled down so far, and nobody knew they existed except for some of the locals.
Now we got proof.
Yeah. What's really cool about these guys is the fact that people would call this the mysterious monkeys of
Shangri-La.
Yeah, Shangri-La. And look up the full episode. It's from PBS. It's really good. I love reading about Shangri-La due to the fact I have a certain love for the Monkey King from the Journey to the West. It's just such an amazing story about how they found these great looking, like, they're just so adorable to me. It saddens me because, like, we're humanity and we're supposed to be up above this type of way of life, but we're just dwindling even further.
To interject here, reminds me of a very, very powerful quote from George Carlin, the man himself. It's that saving endangered species is nothing but a selfish act. Nature has to run its course and do what it has to do to survive. When we go in there and interfere with nature, trying to save the animals because we don't want them to go away. It's extremely selfish.
If I can interject for a moment.
But there's enough of them to
repopulate. On your interjection,
yes.
We are responsible for the depletion of those animals.
But the ones that are still here,
destroying
that's nature.
Where they live.
The strong survive.
So we are destroying their land and their home. So yeah, we feel sort of responsible.
We know better that it's not right.
Yes.
All other creatures don't know better when they're killing off.
Right. And then on top of that,
we do.
It's
we
know
know better. We know better.
And it's the same deal with the planet Earth.
So
everybody's like, save the planet, save the planet. No, you don't want to save the planet because it's everything. It's just where you put your stuff.
No.
And no matter what happens to this planet, no matter how bad it gets, another couple 1,000 years, the Earth is just going to shake everybody off like a bad batch of fleas.
It is. But I'm
And it's going
saying,
to be normal. We can pollute the shit out of this planet. We'll be fine.
nothing wrong though with trying to save a species that you personally. The eagle. People were hunting the bald eagles for years. Okay, so they stopped it. So now
That's
they're
a
coming
little
back.
bit. That's
So
a little bit
what's wrong?
different.
No, there's nothing different. It's the same thing.
Now they're just not shooting them.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying. There's nothing wrong with
this
trying
is-
to help
It
the
was just that
species recover.
the species was like
Okay.
all over the
Listen.
Himalayan mountains and in the woods and
Yeah.
jungles.
But I'm saying, if like your monkeys, they're not being affected by anybody. Let's say that they're not being affected by anything. They're just living on their own, and their population is dwindling out.
It's not. Really
That's
that- no.
nature.
Yeah,
Let them
nature's
die
not
out.
killing- But the thing is, nature's
They're
not killing them.
yeah, nature doesn't really. The dinosaurs is like really the only species that nature
No,
has really
dire
killed off.
wolves,
There's been
dire bears.
My grandfather said he ran over the. He ran
People
over
killed
the truck.
wolves. People hunted wolves.
Yeah, but dire wolves aren't
Bisons,
hunted down.
Bears.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah,
But-
we almost
Eagles.
But you're still missing the
buffaloes
point.
extinct.
But you're all still missing the point. If there's a species that is not being directly affected by man, they're living their
No,
lives.
they're being affected by man.
Okay, but
Listen
there's
to
a
John.
species.
Listen to
There's
John.
also tigers and pandas out there too. The same deal. They're not being affected. They're just kind of dwindling because they don't procreate enough, like pandas. Okay,
Okay, but they're hunting games.
they're doing their own thing. No one's messing with them.
Actually, pandas were thought to be a myth, and then they started hunting them, and then they started capturing them, and rich people were keeping them as pets during the Victorian times.
Because they were.
And they were beautiful, and people were capturing them.
Mhm.
But they were thought like the way we think
Yeah.
of Bigfoot. And then they're like, oh my God, pandas are real. And they started depleting the population because the people wanted the fur and people wanted the pets.
But the
and,
pandas in the wild, the majority of them don't procreate.
But that is the word. Those are the wild. We're the wild pandas.
What?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The wild. Okay.
This has turned into a CNN debate.
But it's
CNN
real
panel.
All right, we're good. We're
Uh,
good.
fake news.
Let's move on.
Donald Trump is listening to this.
But-
He's like, I don't like fake podcasts.
Moving on.
Yeah, like I was
Okay.
trying to say is that
No,
the species
no,
being
maybe not.
dropped because of man, not because of nature.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with
I understand what
All.
Sean is trying to say.
Yeah.
If there's
Fuck Greenpeace is what I'm
if
saying.
there is a species of animal that you shouldn't bother it.
Exactly. We
but-
shouldn't be
but-
bothering
but-
them in the first
But
place.
can you find or name a species?
Yes, it's going to take a while
Exactly.
because I'm doing a podcast right now.
I mean, there really
Well-
isn't one that we haven't affected,
dodos. We
Yeah.
completely extinct them.
But what about this dilemma?
Because they were delicious.
No,
What
they
about
were,
this?
they're completely nasty. That's
I'm
how
gonna bring
they're
up cats
described.
again, as usual.
Yeah, cats
They
are
said-
okay.
No, wait, but cats are hunting birds, and birds are starting to, certain birds are starting to go extinct. Do we have anything to do with that, or is that nature?
Well,
I think
technically,
we do,
we
because
brought
they're feral
over those.
cats.
Yeah, we brought
Those are
over those
animals.
cats.
die.
Yeah, that is our fault because people have cats or pets
Oh
and then
my
they let
God.
them out in the wild and then they breed like
But if-
rabbits.
Yeah, but
And then they have
if
to
there was
hunt.
no human control of them, there'd be even more. There'd be even more cats.
Actually, there would be cats in their own civilization of their own place.
I
Not
know,
an actual
I am
civilization.
Mr. Whiskas.
What do you call it? Like they have their own
Cat
territory.
civilization.
Well, I'm not talking about like some.
Cat gangs?
I'm not talking about like
Oh,
utopia
that's
type of shit. I'm
sorry.
talking about like.
No, I think there would be a civilization of cats.
But I think it's like.
Why?
It would
So
probably
the planet
be
of
cats. I would actually think it would probably be like cats and dogs would probably be the two. Well, technically, it would be like.
Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria.
I was gonna say cats and dogs would probably be the ones that evolve
Cats
next.
would be like, ew, dude, there's a dog over there. Dog's like, you just call me a dog? I better cut that out of the podcast.
Oh my god, dude!
Wow.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
moving
I
on.
have allergies.
Moving on to
New.
to other news. This happened in my old backyard of Rhode Island, in Woonsocket to be exact. The Coventry Building and Wrecking began tearing down an old French worsted company building, so that way the site could be prepped for new construction. The building itself was dated back to 1906. Sophia Caxor, a hydrologist for the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management, said, "What happened here is still a mystery to me. The work stopped because of two paranormal events that happened that involved a crane. The crane, which was operated by John Piccari, went haywire every time he got close to tearing down part of the building. Piccari's daughter, Kim, took a picture and she said what looks like ghosts in the window of the old mill. That's not something I've experienced, so I think if somebody experienced something like that, you would believe in it, she said. A second time, Piccari told NBC 10 News a huge steel beam bounced on the ground and appeared to be guided directly at the crane's cab and missed Piccari by inches. The owner of the Coventry building and wrecking said he'd been doing this for more than 40 years and couldn't find any way to explain why the machine was malfunctioning. Kim contacted local paranormal investigators who brought 2 mediums with them. They said that they actually had a conversation with the spirits themselves and claimed that they couldn't leave the building, but told by NBC 10 News that the mediums were actually successful at getting the spirits to leave the area and the work was able to continue. But where did the spirits go? Nobody knows. And it says here that Censor said that she was glad that...
The thing that sounded craziest of all was they said they had a conversation. That's like...
Yes, the mediums.
Okay,
the mediums did.
Right. I thought like the actual people, like the ghosts were in front of them. And
all the news. that would be actually pretty interesting.
Honestly.
NBC 10 News. I just found the story. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Well,
did they have the picture? They said they had pictures of ghosts in the windows.
Did they do a full background check on the mediums, or did they just hire some mediums to make people happy?
That's the thing. I don't know. They don't mention anything about the mediums or their names or who they are. So either they're trying to protect their identity. I don't know. But I mean,
I'm skeptical of some.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know who these people are. But this is one of the. I don't know if this is the picture that she took, but this is the picture of the actual building, of the factory that they tore down. But I don't know if that's the actual picture she took or not, because I can't find anything else on it.
Why not just look up on Google of the building itself and see if there's probably other pictures?
I didn't find anything. I just found pictures of the building itself. At least they got it tore down, because those things are really hard to tear down, because the way they're upkept, they keep oil all over the floors to make sure it's clean. Back in 2001, I think we had at least 3 mill fires back then, because they were trying to prep certain mills to get torn down. One little spark lit the whole place up on fire. I've asked a lot of people about it, and I still don't understand why they soak the floors in oil. But the floors and everything, it's all concrete. They're all concrete mills. Well, I think what's even weirder is that there's one mill in my hometown of West Warwick that's still standing, and that thing has been burned at least
7 times,
4 to 5 times by actual arson. Like, people have just lit the place on fire and it hasn't been burned down yet. And it's really neat, because when you're in West Warwick, you go down one hill, you have the John F. Horgan Elementary School off to the left, and right across from it is this mill, and the mill is sitting right in the water. Like, it just looks so weird to have right next to the school. And then right down the street, you have Bradford Soaps, if that one's still open. Coast to Coast AM has given us this other story, which I find it very nice. A teacher in Milwaukee is under fire after it was revealed that she used an Ouija board with her class of kindergartners.
Oh, I heard about this.
The odd incident came to light when a parent complained to the administrators that her 5-year-old son was having nightmares and refused to be left alone following a session with the classroom's teacher and her Ouija session. The parent is quoted saying, "They were shutting off the lights and making it dark to talk to the spirits. That's not something you should do in school." Well, not normal school, maybe Hogwarts or something, I don't know. To each his own. The unnamed educator says that the session came about after the kids asked to hear a scary story, and that when the class used the Ouija board together, the children wanted to know about movie characters rather than residents of the other side. Which I could totally agree on this. When me and my friends used like an Ouija board once, we were asking about all sorts of like musicians and stuff, Jimi Hendrix and
what was that teacher just had a Ouija board on hand when they asked for the scary
yeah,
stuff.
that's even weirder. But the teacher says that she insists that I did not say there were spirits, and she expresses regret that the seeming silly exercise caused such a dismay for her students, and promised that there won't be any more Ouija board sessions moving forward, which I would imagine because she's probably been fired. But that may not be enough, however, as the distraught child's mother is pressing for the city to fire the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure. Her fate is now in the hands of the Milwaukee Public School System, which has placed her on administrative leave as officials conduct an investigation on the incident. While the teacher waits at home wondering what the future may hold for her, hopefully she can actually avoid consulting the Ouija board about it.
While the teacher waits at home wondering, is there anybody here with me?
Will I lose my job? All signs point to yes. You piece of shit, Ouija board! I mean, so the kids are just like, oh, we want to hear a scary story. Okay. Ouija board.
My handy dandy Ouija board.
Is your mom a teacher?
You can see.
What did she do?
Nothing.
She had a Ouija board and cooked the kids'
She
lard.
makes squirrel pies.
Oh,
She
my
likes
God.
to do weird things that old people do.
Soak people's food in water.
Throw entire bags of charcoal on the grill and light it. Yeah.
Hands in her husband's pants so he can pee.
Accidentally drank cleaning fluid.
I mean,
Cleaner with anything
I
else.
mean-
So we got a list, don't we?
I think what worries me more is that this went through her head and she said, I'm not going to get in trouble for this. I mean, really, out of all the stupid things.
People don't think about that stuff.
No, they don't. And you have to
They
imagine, I mean,
think about an excuse that they can make to get, then they're like, yeah, that works.
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
maybe she was
yeah.
trying to harvest their souls or something. We don't
Or
know.
maybe she just thinks it's a real, just a game. People
True.
think
Well,
like that.
I mean, yeah, it is just a
Some
game.
people just like, it's just a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, I mean,
and,
It's friggin' Parker Brothers or
well, they Parker's Burgers.
Milton Bradley. What?
They
We
just,
talked about this in like an
that's
earlier
just a
podcast
name.
where they
I
like
mean,
they,
you know the.
Well, they
that's
dated back
fake.
all. They
It's a
did,
guy.
Ew. You know the origin.
that dated back like that game board dated back even before the westerns even became westerns.
They had the original.
it's
Ouija
been around
board.
forever.
It
Yeah.
was actually down on wood.
Yeah.
Like wooden witches or some shit.
If you guys want,
It's like witch Yahtzee.
listen to our first episode podcast and you'll hear all about this because we went into a tangent about the Parker Brothers and Milton Bradley selling their souls to the devil to make board games and stuff, and it's fun. Okay, well that'll probably do it for the news. There is something I do want to talk about a little bit. I found this YouTube video from a friend, and what it is, it's a very intellectual video by a doctor, if I'm saying this right, Dr. Masaru Emoto. And what it is, it's a theory about how words, frequency, can actually change human behavior in water and other things. And I thought this was a very interesting video to watch. And I thought what he was talking about, I felt like I've kind of dabbled into a little bit of this, like for investigations of different ideas of like trying to find paranormal phenomena, like through like our emotions, like we did in your mom's basement, and making certain noises, like playing music, just having a different atmosphere, and how we react to the paranormal. And one thing that I've always wanted to try, and I haven't had an opportunity to, it was using a certain noise frequency during investigations to try and see if anything would happen. It's just I forget the name of the noise, but if I find it, I'll link it to the YouTube video. It's this sound. It sounds like it's getting louder and more intense the longer it goes on, but it's never changing its frequency. It's staying exactly the same.
Like Tesla coil.
Yes. Yeah, like something
I was
like
thinking
that.
about making one of those.
And I always thought, like, we could use that for investigations to see if it could spark anything. And after watching this
I mean,
video,
if you think about the Tesla coil, it's nothing but copper wiring, a
Yeah.
jar, and some wires that go into your computer and basically picks up the sounds and the vibrations.
yeah, I mean,
It's got some smoke.
I think trying that with paranormal investigation and then watching this video of how, and all of his scientific work and theories playing out in this video is just amazing to watch. I will link this in the description with everything else tonight. But it's an awesome video to watch if you haven't seen it yet.
Something kind of like that. Back in like the 80s, Leonard Nimoy had a show called In Search Of.
I remember that show.
Yeah, and they had something, an episode something like that about plants they would hook it up to different frequencies, like different plants. They would all be treated the same, like fed, watered. But then, like, they would play different sounds for them, like heavy metal or classical.
Right.
And, like, the plants that listen to heavy metal and stuff died. The ones
Fucking brutal.
The ones that listen to classical would live and grow, and then it'll be the same conditions. So it's a cool show and cool episode.
And yet, whenever you have them listen to Dio, they still head pop.
Yeah, and they can react to people's emotions too. Like,
Yeah.
when somebody was feeling pain, they hooked it up to like a lie detector thing. You gotta watch the episode. I don't know how well I believe it.
Speaking of Dio, James Ronnie Dio, he's infamous for always using the devil horns. Yeah. Hand signature. Turns out Mr. Gene Simmons of Kiss is trying to trademark devil horns, saying that it was his idea.
Nope.
I know. Dio was doing that longer than you were, and it's such an iconic thing that you associate with Dio and other metal. It's like you can't trademark on that.
Well, the story goes, I think it was his grandma was Italian from Italy, and they would walk by the neighborhood and see like mafia guys out there, and she would do that, meaning the evil eye. And that's where he got it.
Yeah. Another thing to check out. We all know Ghost Adventures. We love Ghost Adventures. We love Zach. In fact, if you guys still haven't done this yet, like I've told you to, after every podcast, YouTube search Zach music videos for all these prepubescent teens making these lovey-dovey romance music videos to his face. It's funny as hell. Go do it, but don't do it right now. You got to listen to me first. On Ghost Adventures, there were a couple of episodes where they had a device that was built from an Xbox 360 Kinect, and they used it to track spirits and to find proof. One was it scans your body and it shows your body in like a sense as a sensor, and all of a sudden other sensors started popping up showing that there were people there, but there was no one there. Like all ghost hunting shows and things like that, they always get the cool stuff. And when we the more private sector paranormal investigators, or even just the casual investigator
Report.
try to get things like this, it's virtually impossible. It's just money is just so goddamn tight. But a man by the name of Martin Simpson has found a way to build the same exact device that they use in that show, and he will show you how to do it for free. And it's been listed on his website here. He has been contacted by other people that want to take his blueprints, put it on the market, just like with other K2 meters and things, and make a bundle for it. But he feels that the paranormal field is shaky as it is. Why would you put a price on something that can help us explain the science of the field? So he decided to just ignore all the money and just put the blueprints out himself. And this is really cool that he did this. I will leave a link in the description so that way everybody can actually read the page, find his tweet and Facebook and whatnot.
You sure it's not the same guy that I keep watching these videos, the one that made the ghost box?
I think there's a picture of him on here. Let me find it.
This guy's been working on this for a long time, and different types of ghost boxes that he's made, and he's tried to make it better each time.
Yeah, I don't really see a picture of him, but I think I'll Google it. If you guys just want to skip everything and just kind of email him yourself, you can email him at paranormalxfilesgroup@gmail.com. And he'll be able to tell you what you need to know. The link that I will put in the description will actually tell you everything that you need and how much it will actually cost. Really, the only thing that's going to cost you an arm and a leg is probably a Microsoft tablet, because one point he actually puts in is that a lot of these things are done on laptops and bigger computers, so it's not really mobile. So he made it mobile. The finished product looks pretty cool, and I mean, from the price of everything, the only real dent to your wallet is going to be a Microsoft tablet. Unless people can think of something easier, because a Kinect you get for like $40, and then everything else is like $4 or $5. I mean, for him to do something like that, I think that's really awesome for everybody. But then on top of that, you got to know how to put the wires together. You be a little electronic. I'm very poor at this stuff, so I'd probably kill myself, but it's worth a try, I think. Actually, I'm gonna look up this guy right now, Martin Simpson. Okay, this is what the Martin guy looks like.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe it is. Is that the same guy that we watched the videos on?
I don't watch. His article piece is called "Living Life in Full Spectrum." Very cool guy. Very cool guy. I never met him before, but seeing what he's doing, I give him a thumbs up. He is awesome. Anyway, your videos you're talking about, what were they?
This guy, we talking about the Ghost Box one?
Yes.
Okay. I just started watching these. This guy's, he was on YouTube. He made a Ghost Box. He's been making them for a while, and he did the video where he was after Robin Williams died.
Right.
He got Robin Williams' voice on there, and it really does sound like freaking Robin Williams.
Just going, ha.
It's creepy. It's creepy because it's the.
I'm dead.
Robin Williams has a very distinct voice,
Yes.
and this guy, I know when he was asking about Robin Williams, you can hear it for yourself.
Fun fact about Robin Williams, in the movie Aladdin, he didn't play just the genie. He was actually the guy at the start of the movie that was telling the story and singing the song of Arabian Nights, but they never put it in the final product of the movie. There was always that speculation. People thought that was the genie, which it was. Fun fact about Robin Williams, too. He had his own cartoon series of Mork and Mindy, and they crossed over with the guys Happy Days. I don't know how the hell that happened. But it happened. No.
You want me to play it?
No, you got the guy's name? Who makes those boxes? Oh, wait. That way I can put it in, I can put the link in the description.
Well, I was gonna say I can play the thing on here,
What's
or
it
it
say?
has it on here.
Okay, huffparanormal.com would be it.
Do you want to hear it?
No, we can't do that.
Oh, you can't.
No. That's someone else's video. We can't play their video over there.
Oh.
Or you can copyright it.
What are you
It's
trying
this
to
guy
pull?
right here. This guy.
Okay, well, what we're talking about is that there's a man out there who's showing people how to also build ghost boxes. His YouTube channel is called Huff Paranormal. I will link that in the description too.
It's Jack Gordon.
Jack Gordon.
Yeah. See, he did this, and he put he bought crystals and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That you would use to keep, I guess you would keep good spirits in, bad spirits,
Right.
specific. He made it specific way, to make it safer for him to use it, and also did the prayers and stuff. But yeah,
All right. So
it's like a
so
screen.
basically, not just scientific. He's taking more of a spiritual approach.
He's
to it.
going spiritual and scientific. I mean, I don't know if it's real. I mean, he has a lot of videos and a lot of followers, and I've watched these videos. And on this thing, I mean, the voices are very clear. I mean, so far I haven't seen anything negative. But I mean,
That's good.
he gets he sits there and talks directly to spirits.
Yeah.
I mean, it's freaking insane. So I don't know. You can check it out.
Quite a look. Huff Paranormal.
This guy is meticulously working on this ghost box. So
Nice.
yeah. So I've watched quite a few of his videos doing my ghost box session, so, which is why I wanted to make a big one. So check it out.
All right, well, I think that part pretty much do it for the podcast then. Our first video of abandonment exploration is on YouTube right now on our YouTube channel. That is PSI on the tube, all one word. It's a very short video, just kind of fun. It's our first one of doing it. So it's not going to be too perfect, but it'll definitely get better on the podcasts. The more we do. Oh, that's so sad to say. And
yeah, usually we're louder and more.
yeah, I mean, look out more for more stuff that we're going to try doing. More
Now we're all
spooky board games and things
we're
like that.
professional, serious
Yeah.
and shit.
And hopefully,
All serious and shit.
hopefully more investigations
I know, it's
to
right.
come into the future. And I still have past evidence to put up, which I neglected to do because things, time, summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too hot to hunt ghosts. They all went to Florida.
Wait, what do you mean?
That's even hotter.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And it's where the beaches are. I don't know what I was just doing. That was something.
Oh, nobody listens anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good warm up to get back in the groove, man. Gotta get back in the groove.
So we have to have experiences.
Yes.
I haven't had any.
Get the shovel.
I haven't even had a bad dream or nothing.
Well, that's good.
It's
I mean,
weird. No, it leaves you nothing to talk about.
Oh, I had a bad dream. I thought I was in Friday the 13th.
Yeah, we
Wait.
need to go to a haunted place. Or
Was that
something.
what I had? I don't know. It wasn't important. It was freaky. I had snakes in it. I had snakes in it. Oh, I saw a snake on the walking trail. I screamed.
Was it a copperhead?
It was brown.
It was brown?
It was just brown. All
Yeah,
color.
We saw
been-
them.
It might have been a water box.
That's what I thought it was.
Well, because there's the
We
only
saw them
other.
there. Remember that time we saw them there? It was in the.
Yeah,
we
I-
looked
It
up.
might have been a
It was-
water box.
Yeah, I thought. Well, it was making its way across the road. That's what I thought it was.
What did it have, like diamond type shit?
No,
No, it was just
No.
all brown. Remember we saw the
Pretty
exact same
much.
thing. We looked it up. It's just a harmless.
Tina almost stepped on it. She came. Her foot was right there on it.
Didn't try to bite your.
No, he looked pretty sapped because he was in the shade,
Oh,
not in the sun. So I think he was just tired.
oh, just relaxing.
Yeah, and then once he saw us coming about the second Tina, total guy, man, I screamed as loud as I could. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
He turned
Yeah,
gay
if it
within
was a
5
water box,
seconds.
then it probably wouldn't try to
Yeah,
bite
she
you.
turned around, looked at it, and just shrugged her shoulders. I screamed as loud as I could, and then I had to go all the way down in the grassy area to get around it, and I ran
Did you
as
see
fast
all
as I
those
could.
eggs on the side? You see that? When you walk on the trail, there's I'm not sure turtle eggs. It might be, but you see all the holes and there's egg shells across the whole.
I got a
entire
picture of
area.
a crane.
Oh yeah, we saw
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, he was from the distance,
Or what
right over there.
Dorothy and Cindy
pretty
called a pterodactyl.
Oh,
Yeah, no, we saw it.
yeah, I was watching him eat, and then he got done eating, and he just looked at me like, "I'm taking a picture."
We seen a muskrat.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
which I've never seen in my entire life. Till
Really?
once, yeah. You just see muskrats all the time.
I've seen him before.
I've never
Look.
seen one ever.
I just made a hilarious face.
So are we done?
Yeah, I think we're done. Time to shut her down. This old abandoned radio station that we broadcast from.
Yeah, this haunted, abandoned radio station that we all hike to in the middle of the night to do our podcast.
Yes.
We
In
suck.
the middle of the woods in our hearse with
Yes.
with steam, with fog and lights and
Yeah.
can't use that.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, we do the quotes all the
Yeah.
time.
I don't think I see that.
It's gonna be awesome. Look forward to that. We'll have when we ever do get a hearse. It's gonna
Yeah.
be. We're gonna
Be
make
off the
dramatic entrances everywhere we go.
Stay tuned. The next podcast is gonna be so good, you guys.
Everything from
We're gonna make stuff happen, even though we don't have anything to offer.
nothing. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds depressing.
Yeah.
It is
We're
depressing.
like the poorest ghost hunting
You're supposed to
ever.
make them laugh.
What do you guys have? We have our phones.
Yeah.
I have
Stay tuned.
We're like paranormal on a budget.
Yeah, on a
Yeah, we are.
tight budget. On
I
a
have no
Scrooge
budget.
McDuck budget.
We go to church. What was that church? At
I get
Fresh
paid
and
This
Orthodox.
This one time I went to McDonald's and they had a ghost.
We
And I was
went
like,
to-
well, I'll pay for my Big Mac, then I'll go see your ghost.
We went to spend 10 minutes at a Russian Orthodox church.
It was
It took
one
us,
Abandoned Exploration on our YouTube page. Go check it out.
took us like an hour to find it.
Yes.
The local stared us down and said, "Who is these people?"
All right, Jim, they're going up the hill. No, I see them going up the hill.
Tell Uncle Daddy to get the gun. Uncle Daddy.
Archie, they're going up the hill near the church. I don't care. They're walking down the hill now, Archie.
Come over here and shut
I
up so
don't
you
care.
shut up.
I don't care what they're doing. Get over here already and shut up.
That guy was so abusive to his wife. Goodness.
Archie, the paranormal group's at the door. Do you remember the episode of All in the Family where Archie Bunker just beat the ever-living crap out of... I'm turning this off now. Shutting her down.